So the special gifts of nothing helped me during being homeless. And I still am, I suppose. I'm more comfortable with my situation. But the paradox of nothing that gifted me everything is the most powerful thing that I want to share. It's spoken practically everywhere. It's the return to nothing. It's the return to stillness. It's the return to silence that most people miss. And I find it frustrating how everyone gets caught up in the noise. And then when we stop to meditate, there's a lot of withdrawals. There's a lot of thoughts that seem to get in our way. And this brought me to having a passion for psychology, having a passion for, I suppose, living my experience of having absolutely nothing for the most part and making something come out of it. Creating something out of nothing became my challenge and also became my favorite craft, because that's, I suppose, the only place I could start, because there's a lot of spiritual teachings that say that you got to create it within yourself in order to create it outside of you. And we can look at paintings, we can look at poetry. They're some of the things that I create quite a lot of. So all I want to share, and the message is that it's possible. And the tools that I found are absolutely free. And they are available to everybody. So my passion grew as I noticed myself and found myself in paradoxes with my human desire, wanting, always grasping at things I couldn't afford, and then realizing that each time I have to let go. It's a constant experience, always letting go. It's this dance with life. And I know I might be going on a tangent, and I know I might be skipping all over the place, but it is a complex experience to put into words, and I'm trying my best at the moment, because there's a lot of experiences that have led to me finding certain tools in life that are easily spoken about, but I rarely see people acting on it. There's a lot of spiritual fluff that is out there, and it's time to cut through the noise, because being homeless taught me that breathing was my own responsibility. No one could breathe for me. If I get angry, or if I get triggered, it's up to me to regulate that experience. It's up to me to reflect. It's up to me to do that kind of inner work. And we all do it, and it's important to keep going. And there's always a time, or there's always a moment in life where we get the chance to pause. We get the chance to heal. And, sometimes there's some toxicity within ourselves. And we've got to be able to confront those problems and purge them. And it was never a beautiful process. The journey of what people are calling the spiritual awakening it's not pleasant. It's can be very confronting when some of the things that we're so used to projecting are usually within ourselves. And it's to clear up those projections so we can have nicer experiences with one another, because it's the toxic projection that makes this world a toxic place, because we're throwing these venom everywhere and things quite quickly become out of place. Because in my experience, nature is harmonious, but we need to be vessels to purify ourselves first. Nature will hold it. Nature will purify it. Nature will do what nature does in the blissful experience that nature gets to exist in. I'm out here by the trees, by nature. I'm on a foreshore, and I just look around at all these trees that are still and how they grow. And when we observe nature, it helps, because nature is the best teacher. It's free to be within nature. You don't have to pay for an access. There's a lot of spiritual individuals out there that are charging super expensive fees and claiming some type of healing when the healing is actually for free. Breathing does not cost you anything. Breathing through your nose, it's your own autonomy. It's not someone telling you what rhythm to follow. Because as experiences arise within your body, it's a somatic experience. It's your own internal experience to breathe through it. And I suppose a lot of people seem to hold space, but in my experience, I notice people are actually getting in the way. They don't know necessarily how to hold space. And it's up to us to learn better ways. Because we're all learning. We're all on this journey together. We're all connected. It's in every holy text that you can imagine. It's written there. It's not something new to be discovered. It's not an outrageous claim to say that we are all connected in some kind of way. So it's about harmonizing these things. Because when I became homeless, I was very frustrated at the world. I was very angry. I was very disheartened. I was very, very upset that, the help that I sought wasn't quite there. And I've had to overcome everything about that and help myself and guide myself back to some form of clarity, some form of strength, some form of resistance to the problems that I perceive that were around me. Because it's probably taken me 5 to 6 years now to overcome half of these problems that I used to perceive. And it's possible for everybody to overcome any challenges. And I hope this message that I'm sharing, and if you're lasting this long, I'm grateful, because it's time to share the clarity that actually does exist when we reclaim our capacity and what we find value in. We've got to find value within ourselves. Our capacity to heal ourselves is through the breath and also through prayer. They're the main free avenues that are very personal, and no one can necessarily say the right way. We find our way, because life is a constant journey to move through it. Once you arrive at a destination or you reach the top of a mountain, you keep on going. You either go down or go back up. There's always another location to move to, and it can depend on if it's like a microcosm or a macrocosm. Depends how you zoom into your problem or how you zoom out. Sometimes we can be defeated by life by zooming all the way in, but the solution is sometimes zooming out. And it's a muscle. There's all these psychological muscles that are free to access. And once we learn how to access these feelings within us, our psychological muscles that have been, I suppose, they've sort of been, our psychological muscles have been under attack. We look at technology is meant to help us, but it's also creating that divide. Technology is weakening our thought process. It's weakening our minds. I mean, it's great to put things in a screen and see what comes. You know, you can save someone else's time. It can help move things along. But if we don't address our own capacity to rejuvenate ourselves, then we're not really much use to anyone else, because we all need to, become strong on our own. And it's okay to be dependent, I suppose, but how far does that dependence go? There's a lot of... We're still in a world of duality, I suppose. And it's for us to come to our own singularity. So then we can integrate with the world that is around us. And overall, these are just a bunch of lessons that I learnt from being homeless. And I encourage anyone to share this message if you can, and jump into the comments. Start the conversation with your questions. I'm willing to answer them. I'm willing to make more videos about the gifts and the wisdom and the challenges that confronted me, that I had to overcome. And I don't necessarily have the words to express it. That's why I use poetry. So if you like poetry, there's poems that I'm speaking on my channel. And my channel is still very small, and I'm grateful for all subscribers that have already joined my channel. And if anyone can share it, it's appreciated to help spread the message of free healing. I'm not offering it. I'm just helping you access it. There's nothing that I can offer that you can't access already by yourself. So it makes a big difference to me if we can help my channel grow. It makes a big difference because it helps me focus on building better content. It helps me focus on building better videos. It helps me focus on creating more art and helping other artists create art. And all these things cost a lot of money, especially in Victoria at the moment. I live in a state that's quite screwed, so any support is great. And yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Thank you for your time that you shared with me, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Namaste.